Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If Theo would get out of the way, he'll show you this little napkin ring that I've made for a Thanksgiving at our house for the first time ever. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to make this a napkin ring or if I will open it up and make it a coaster, or maybe I'll make a couple of each. I haven't decided. So anyway, come along this Thanksgiving journey with me. Okay, so I have a bunch of worsted weight stash yarns. So there's like all different brands here. There's a Cascade, and Theo's grabbing stuff literally off my table right now. So let's see. So I've got Havana's Choice here. I think this one might be Louette, I'm not sure. Cascade and Brava. So in general, you want to keep all your yarns the same fiber. I think this one is wool, but anyway. Okay, so I've got a bunch of different yarns here that I grabbed out of my stash. They're all close to worsted weight, and we're going to make our circle first. So actually, I'm going to show you here that one way we can put this together as a napkin ring is by folding over basically a circle. So I'm going to pull this apart so that you can see what it looks like, because you could also have the option of making it a coaster and making the leaves, the feathers of the turkey all the way around if you want. Also, it would be really cool to make this a really big placemat where you made the circle really big and then put the feathers all the way around. So let's get started, shall we? Theo is causing me quite a bit of distraction here, but that's okay, because I am thankful for him. Are you thankful for some things over Thanksgiving? I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm also thankful that I don't have some things. Isn't that always the way? We have to be both thankful for what we have and thankful for some bad things that we don't have, right? Okay, so let's start with a circle that you can either make a coaster or the start of a placemat or the start of a napkin ring. You tell me what you would like to make out of this. I'm going to grab my brown yarn and a eye size hook. I'm placing a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place 11 double crochet in the third chain from the hook so that I have 12 double crochet in the first round. So the first chain 3 counts as the first one, the first stitch, and then by adding 11 more, we will have 12, which is how many we have in the center of my little faux turkey coaster. If you did it all in wool, you could use it as a pot holder, but I would not do that with acrylic because acrylic melts, right? So I've actually melted a thing on purpose once, and it does actually turn into a hard plastic mess if you were to put an iron on it. Acrylic yarn. This brown yarn happens to be a wool yarn, but anyway, keep your fibers all the same if you can. All right, so we'll have a total of 12 double crochets in the first round. And most of my rounds are all worked on the same side. I don't usually turn. And certainly if we're going to fold this over into a napkin ring, like I showed you at the beginning, all on the right side is just fine. So we have one, I may not even count that beginning chain 3 as a stitch, because look at it, it's like hidden in there. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have too many. Let's pull one out and count again and make sure that we have 12. So let's count backwards this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and join here. We will skip that beginning chain 3 because it kind of fell underneath and we didn't even see it. Okay, so here's our first round. Second round, I'm just going to chain 1 and then not count that as a stitch. I like to work over my tail. I'm going to place 2 double crochets in the first stitch because that chain 1 I am not counting as a stitch, and I don't want to do a chain 3 again because it kind of disappeared. So we're placing 2 double crochets, 1, 2, in each stitch around. So I'm hoping that by making some fun little decorations for our first Thanksgiving at our house ever, that it will make for a relaxing and valuable use of my time. So, might as well do what I love and try and this will be a new tradition for us. We've, as many families have had over the past year or two, some will be present and some will not be with us this year. So we've lost a few family members this year, and so it's time to have a little bit of a new tradition. So for the first time ever, Thanksgiving will be at our house. So, if you guys remember the veggie tray challenge, I'll be making the whole turkey. So it's going to be quite a big undertaking for me. I've never done it before. And I've got my lists and I've got my recipes chosen and starting to buy some groceries that will stay shelf stable, and then I'll get the fresh stuff at the last minute. I ordered my turkey from the butcher, so and it's going to be fresh, so I don't have to worry about trying to defrost it in time. I just need to pick it up the day before and get it all brined and ready to go. So I'm hoping that we have a successful Thanksgiving this year, and by being prepared, it will give me an opportunity to feel not too stressed out. How about you? So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Let's call that 24. Excellent. So we have one more round to go on our base for the coaster or napkin ring. If you want to make this into a placemat or a wool yarn dish holder, what do you call that? A plate, the hot pad. Then it needs to be all wool, and then you could just keep going with your circle so that it's bigger. We're going to chain 1 and then not count that as a stitch. So we're going to place 1 double crochet in the first stitch. We're going to place 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then we will repeat that over and over again. So again, it's double crochet in 1, and then in the next stitch, place 2 double crochets. So you are increasing equally all the way around, equally spaced. And when you think of the 2 stitches from the previous round, you're placing 2 in the second one. So between my thumbs is the 2 stitches in 1 stitch from the previous round. Put 1 stitch in the first one and 2 stitches in the second half of that. Okay, so 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, all the way around. We will now have 36. So we're equally spacing 12 double crochets all the way around our circle. So we started with 12, we doubled and placed 2 double crochets in every single one. So that made 24. So by adding an additional 12 equally spaced around, we will now have 36. I love how circles in crochet, flat circles, evenly spaced, work out this way. So we know on our third round, if we divide it by 12, we have 36 divided by 12 is 3, so that's the third round. So here we go. So as we work, what are your holiday Thanksgiving traditions? I know our friends in Canada do Thanksgiving at a different date. Do other countries, do you celebrate a Thanksgiving of kinds? Well, our traditional Thanksgiving, we will do turkey and we will do mashed potatoes, and I will learn how to make stuffing, and hopefully it will be close enough to good enough to my mother-in-law's recipe. We will have turkey. Our family happens to like, well, I guess we've deep fried a turkey breast before, but I'll put it in the oven this year, a whole turkey. My family happens to like cranberries right out of the can, the jellied stuff. So I will be doing the jellied cranberries. I'm not a big fan of the green bean casserole that is very traditional in the Midwest, at least, with the cream of mushroom soup. And so my family does like it though, and so maybe my sister-in-law will be bringing that. That's her traditional dish to bring, but I'm not a huge fan of it, so I will probably make another vegetable as well. I'm also not a big fan of sweet potatoes, so I don't know how that's going to go. I would much rather have plain green beans. I'd love a nice broccoli corn casserole. That sounds really good. Definitely we will be having mashed potatoes. Okay, as we finish up round 3, we can go ahead and fasten off our circle with a slip stitch in the first stitch and yarn over and pull through. Find some scissors. Now to make the feathers, I'm going to kind of probably hide the joining on the back if I'm going to make it a napkin ring. So the leaves or the feathers use up 4 stitches. So I am going to, let's start with yellow this time. I'm going to start with yellow. You can do whatever color scheme you want. I'm going to place a slip knot on my hook, and I am going to join in the front loop only of any stitch with a single crochet in the front loop only, front loop only, front loop only, into 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, because I am going to kind of like overlap the feathers a little bit so that it looks more natural rather than having them be like flat out spokes on a wheel. If you like this concept, but you'd rather make this a sunflower, you could totally make this a black-eyed Susan and just do, you know, a black or a brown middle and then just yellow or shades of yellow leaves. Okay, so we have 4 single crochets. Oops, I didn't put that one in the front loop only. Go back, undo 1, make sure it's in the front loop only. Now I am going to chain 1 and turn. So we're making little short rows. I'm going to work over my tail as we go. We're going to do 4 rows of 4 stitches. 2, and Theo's going to jump, and so the whole table's going to shake. Ooh, what a big jump, Theo. And there he goes. Okay, chain 1, turn. So just 4 little short rows of 4 stitches each. I toyed with the idea of placing a edging all the way around, but with the different colors of leaves, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just ended up not doing anything and calling it rustic. Because, hey, you know, feathers are not exactly smooth around the edges anyway. So as we have finished our 4 rows of 4 stitches, this is where we are now, I have chained 1 and turn, and now I'm going to reduce to 3. So I'm going to single crochet in the first one. I'm going to do single crochet 2 together, or single crochet decrease over the next 2, and then single crochet in the last one. So that now means we have 3. We reduced 4 down to 3. Chain 1, turn. We're going to do 3 more rows so that we have a total of 4 rows of 3 stitches. And this will be the 3rd one. And then 1 more. And then I'm not so sure. Do I want to stay with this point here? Okay, so as I finish up my 4th row of 3 stitches, now on this last one, what I did in these previous ones, I just did a 3 single crochets together all in one, but I'm not so sure I want to do that. I feel like maybe it needs to evolve a little bit more, and I might like it a little pointier. What do you think? So I think what I'm going to do for my next version of this, so we can either do this with the kind of rounded feathers, which is this. So chain 1 and turn. For a rounded feather, you're going to insert the hook, pull up a loop, insert the hook, pull up a loop, insert the hook, pull up a loop, then yarn through everything. And that is how I made these feathers. But I think I want this a little bit pointier, so I am going to do that, but then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and place just 1 single crochet there to kind of make it just slightly pointier. Okay, then we will fasten off, and that end will need to be woven in at some point. Okay, so now my feather is a little bit pointier. okay, than those. So you can choose which method you want to do. Now we're going to add the next leaf or the next feather, and we will start 2 stitches behind the yellow and add, should we do the orange? That probably looks good on camera. Let's go ahead and use the orange. So we're going to place a slip knot on the hook, and to make these overlap a little bit, I'm going to fold the first feather down, and 2 stitches back here, I'm going to overlap by 2. So I'm going to do in the back loop only of that stitch with a single crochet. Do you see what I'm saying? The back loop only, because it's the only one available there. And then for the next 2, I'm going to go ahead and come into the front loop only here for the next 2, so that I can overlap another feather behind the orange feather later. Okay, so if you fold the yellow back up, this is what it looks like, and then there's the orange behind. Okay, so we're just going to flop that yellow one over and ignore it for now. We're going to do the same exact thing that we did with the yellow, which is 4 rows of 4 stitches. Now you can decide, maybe you want to do 2 different kinds of stitches, of feathers. Maybe you want to do the pointy one for 2 colors and then the rounded one for another. And so that they're like more organic and more, you know, rustic, and like some are slightly rounded and some are slightly pointy. Hi friends, welcome back. I ran out of space on my phone, so we'll see if I remember where I left off. We're still doing 4 rows of a single crochet, and then we will go down to 3 stitches after that. And I just want to show you how we finish it up, and then you can improvise to your heart's content for your Thanksgiving decor. So we single crocheted in the first one. We're going to do a single crochet decrease over the second, and then single crochet in the last, and then 3 more rows of this, so that there are 3 stitches for a few, meaning 4 total rows. And then you can fasten it off the first way I showed you, or the pointier way that I showed you. Either one is fine. And again, you can do them differently if you want them different for each row or each feather, so that it looks more like an actual turkey. Okay, so let's go ahead and reduce all the way down to 3, from 3 to 1. Pull up a loop, pull up a loop, pull up a loop in each of the 3 stitches, yarn over and pull through them all. And then if you want it pointier, chain 1 and turn and stitch single crochet in that one. Okay, and that end will need to be woven through also. Okay, so if you're making a placemat or a coaster, you're going to put these feathers all the way around. If you're making a napkin ring, you're just going to make half all the way around, and then fold over your brown, and then you're going to secure the brown. So, but you're only going to secure it from like here to here, because your fork and knife needs to like stick out through. Okay, so you need to have an opening for your fork and knife. So you're really only going to want to stitch it here on those 5 stitches, like you saw me pull it apart at the beginning. But that's how we make some simple and fun Thanksgiving decor. So I hope you had fun with this. I hope this helps make your Thanksgiving a fun and relaxing, valuable use of your time. And I will see you on the next video. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.